Hi guys, my name is Dan Wheeler. I'm the instructor for this class. This is English 1A/80, okay? I've gotten a few questions from people already about what that actually means. Why do you have to register for both classes? Well, they're linked together. This class is made for people who feel like they need a little extra time to work on some of the basics of writing. So you get an extra unit for doing that. I'm not really splitting the class into two. In other words, I'm not going to have a lecture for 180 for 1A and then another separate lecture for English 80. Just think of it as all one class. And the same goes for your grade. If you earn an A collectively for all your work, then you get an A for 80 and you get an A for 1A. That's how it's basically going to work. Now, I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about the syllabus. I have it for you. Maybe you noticed it already. If you go onto Canvas and go under week 1, I have the whole course set up as a calendar so that it goes by week, up to 16 weeks. That's when the course ends. So if you go to week 1, you'll see that I uploaded a syllabus for you that you can print out if you want to. At the very least, I'd like you to open it up and look at it, read through it. If you have any questions, by all means, send them my way and I'll address those in the next video, okay? A couple of things, though, that I would like to point out in the syllabus. So here is the exact same syllabus that I uploaded for you. This is the electronic copy of it. A couple of things I want to point out. Mainly, if you need to get in contact with me, you've got a few options here, all right? Notice I have an office phone. However, obviously I'm not in my office. That's the campus phone that you'd be calling, so don't bother using that. Email would be much better. However, you'll notice I have two emails here. I've got this one, mountsacdan@gmail, and I've got dwheeler@mountsec.edu. I prefer you use the first one, okay? This one, I've had a lot of issues with. Sometimes students will send me things and it'll get to me a few days late, or sometimes it won't get to me at all. So I don't have a lot of faith in Mount Sac's email system. I prefer my own. So use the Gmail one if you really want to make sure this thing gets to me, okay? mountsacdan@gmail.com. I will be giving you another email in a few days. When I have you send me assignments electronically, I've set up an email just for your class. I teach 4 different sections of English 1A. Each one of them has their own special email for where their assignments go. That way I don't have students' assignments from 4 different classes all going into the same file. Okay, it's easier for me to grade and enter if I have them separate. So just know that that's coming. Another good way to contact me is directly by text. This number here. If you use that, like the Gmail, it'll go to my phone and it'll get to me immediately. So if you want to really get a hold of me soon, texting is also a good option. Just make sure you leave your name, because when you text me, it shows your phone number, but it doesn't show your name, I've noticed. And sometimes I have no idea who's talking to me. So make sure you put your name in somewhere in that text when you send it to me. Office hours. Okay, during these times, my office hours are anytime, okay? If I'm awake and by my phone, which is most of the time, I'll write you right back. You know, if I'm, in bed and my phone's shut off, that's the one time I won't write you back. So really, we're required. You'll notice I have Fridays from 2 to 3 right here. Teachers are all required to have a guaranteed office hour, whereas if you contact me during that time, we're guaranteeing that we'll get right back to you. Well, I will anyway, regardless of when you write to me, okay? But you can stick to that if you want to. If you're afraid I'm not going to be able to get back to you or something like that, you could wait until Fridays from 2 to 3 and write me, but pretty much any time is totally okay. Obviously, I'm not really taking attendance because I'm not seeing you inside my class, right? We're not in the class and I'm not using Zoom. However, I will be using your assignments as a way of keeping track of attendance. So if, for example, you missed 3 assignments in a row, I would know something is up, and you don't want to do that because there's a chance you might get dropped if that happens. Required text. No, there is no required text, okay? There's a story behind that. I really, really despise college textbook companies. I think they rip off students, and I think they take advantage of them. And I don't think you should be taking advantage of this of students. They're already living through hardships. You know, they work, they go to school at the same time. They usually don't have a lot of money to spend, and to charge $200 for a textbook is just criminal as far as I'm concerned. And also, I don't believe a textbook can make you a better writer. I'm sure with other subjects, it's really important to have a textbook, but writing is one of them where it's not. The best way to get better at writing is, guess what? To just write, you know? And a textbook can't make you do that. So this class is going to be more about just hands-on writing and learning from your own writing. Anything else I wanted to point out? Maybe not. Late work. Let's talk about that. That's an important one. I will take late work, okay? When I get a little fussy about it is with the essays. I don't want them to be too late. So basically, I give you a week. If you know you're going to be late, or if something happened and you just flat out forgot that there was an essay that was due, well, you don't have to panic because you still have a week to give it to me, okay? From that due date, you've got another 7 days. However, I am going to dock you 1 grade for being late. So if it was going to be an A paper, now it's going to be a B paper, which isn't that much of a hardship, really, okay? If that happened on one essay, it's not going to keep you from getting that A that you wanted. Now, this one, I usually make this argument when we're actually in a classroom, that I don't mind people bringing phones and iPads and whatever else, because I find a lot of people choose to work on them. They actually prefer to type essays on a phone, believe it or not. Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm totally cool with that. If you want to type your essays on a phone, that's great. Knock yourself out. As long as you have a means of getting on the internet, you're pretty much set for this class. Last page, I always put this quote on there. And the quote is, "A writer is a person who hates writing." Now, why do I put that on the syllabus for a writing class? Well, it's supposed to be funny for one thing, because the people to which this is attributed were all professional writers. You know, they were very good at it. They made a good living from it, and yet even they hated writing sometimes. The reason why is because it can be frustrating. It is. Writing is really frustrating sometimes, and even the best of the best of the best writers get frustrated sometimes. So, when you do get frustrated, and you probably will once or twice during the semester, it's okay. If you get frustrated, think of it this way. You're in good company, because even the pros get frustrated. It's just kind of inherently frustrating sometimes. I find that one reason people get frustrated is that they get impatient with themselves. You know, they write one draft, and if it's not perfect, they say to themselves, well, I'm just not a good writer. And I want you to understand that that's not true at all. That's not what good writing is. In fact, no writer, even the best of them, no writer writes one draft and then moves on to something else. That first draft is the idea draft. It's where all the ideas get thrown out and they stick to a piece of paper, right? Editing is where the real writing comes in, okay? So that's only half the work, is putting the idea out there. The other half is making it look nice. And that's what professional writers understand. And so that's what I want you guys to understand. Don't be too hard on yourself because it wasn't perfect the first time. It's never perfect the first time, not even for the pros. And that's pretty much it for today, okay? I just wanted to give you the syllabus and give you an overview of the class. Make sure you're in the place where you want to be. So tomorrow, we'll start working. We'll start talking about some grammar issues, and we'll start our very first piece of writing. And I'm also going to talk about how you're going to turn in your work. That's for the next one, okay? So for now, stick around. Check in every day. Make sure you do that for announcements regarding this class. And I will see you again tomorrow.